What's up, guys? Are y'all ready to rank all of the tracks in Mario Kart World?
Hell yeah, I am. The tracks in this game are so fucking peak!
I think peak is pushing it a bit.
I agree with Kenshi. The track selection in this game is wacky as hell.
It definitely does warrant discussion.
And that's exactly what we're about to do. Let's get these bad boys ranked, starting with Mario Bros. Circuit.
Mario Bros. Circuit is a pretty good start to the game, in my opinion.
I agree. It shows off rail grinding and a bit of wall riding to get you somewhat familiarized with World's new mechanics.
It's a B tier for me. It's a pretty good starter track.
I have nothing to add. I think B tier works. This is just a solid track.
Cool. I'll throw it into B tier then. Oh shit. I completely forgot that there's two versions of Crown City and Peach Stadium.
Right. If this list is in order of when the tracks appear in the Grand Prix, that means this is from the Mushroom Cup.
If I'm remembering correctly, this version of Crown City is kinda basic.
I think both of them kind of suck. I'd say it's a C tier. There's nothing too interesting.
I can get behind that. It's pretty similar to the city tracks from 8 Deluxe.
Okay, C tier it goes.
Whistle Stop Summit is next. This track is actually pretty decent.
There are a ton of rails to grind on and to chain tricks off of.
The aesthetic of this track is also solid. I'd put it in B tier.
No arguments from me. This track is just solid all around.
B tier it goes.
Next up is my favorite Nitro track, DK Spaceport.
You said that when we first raced on it. Even after playing every cup in the game, this is still your favorite?
Hell yeah, it is! The aesthetic is top tier, and the entire track being a reference to the OG Donkey Kong arcade game is fucking peak.
I will admit that this track is a standout in the Mushroom Cup.
That's what I'm talking about, Lao. This shit is an S tier.
I didn't even say that, but I wouldn't be upset if it did make it up there.
I'm fine with it going into S. It's a really good track, and I'm willing to let it slip through.
Honestly, this track is peak design. Definitely a top 5 track in this game.
We have another S tier track. Desert Hills is so incredibly peak.
Damn it, Lao. I was actually starting to tolerate your ass.
Desert Hills is a really mediocre track in DS, and it's just as mid in this game.
What the hell are you guys on about? The aesthetic of this track is amazing.
Oh wow, a desert. How interesting.
I'm willing to put this track in B tier. I have a decent time racing on it.
See, Raiden has some sense. It's an A tier, personally.
Fuck that shit. This track is a D tier.
I was thinking the same thing.
D tier is wild.
Looks like we have a lot of opinions on Desert Hills. I personally think it fucking blows, but how about I put it in C tier?
Works for me.
I'm cool with that.
I don't really care.
Fine, since you guys want to hate on one of the GOATs.
We got Shy Guy Bazaar next. I'm happy that this track got included.
Yeah, it's good to see it in glorious HD. This track is an A tier.
Now I know you're on some bullshit. How can you like this track but hate on Desert Hills?
That entire question just made me cringe.
Well, first off, while both tracks have a desert setting, the themes are completely different. And second, Shy Guy Bazaar is actually a good track unlike Desert Hills.
Whatever.
I think A tier is a fair spot. Not only does this version of the track look great, but World added a bunch of new shortcut options.
All right, I'll throw it into A.
Next up is Wario Stadium for Mario Kart 64. This track got a huge glow up.
Very true, Kenshi. This version of the track is infinitely more interesting than the original version.
Yeah, it actually looks like they put forth effort instead of copying and pasting the same PNG of Wario's face a trillion times.
And the shortcuts on this track are pretty cool.
I like this track, but I don't think it's outstanding in any way.
Right, I know it sounds like we're glazing right now, but it's so easy to compliment this track because it's such a huge improvement.
It's not hard to improve on garbage, but I think this track is a B tier.
I think that's fair. It's an improvement, but just a decent track.
Throw this track into B.
Next up is, oh dear God.
Gentlemen, lend me your ears, for I am going to regale you the tale of the greatness that is Airship Fortress.
Jesus Christ.
Bear with me here, I wrote a whole monologue.
Janet,
Airship Fortress is so much more than a track in a video game. It is a life-changing experience.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Come on, Kenshi. I have like 5 pages of this shit.
Why the fuck did you write so much? None of us were going to disagree with you.
I have a flair for the dramatics.
No, you're just doing too damn much. I'm just gonna put Airship Fortress in S tier so we can move on with our lives.
we have DK Pass next. This is another DS track that wasn't that great.
This track is a C tier in my opinion.
There isn't anything that different from this version and the DS version. There are just some added shortcuts due to World's mechanics.
I was gonna say that this was a D tier, but C is fine.
All right, putting DK Pass in C tier. Next up is Starview Peak. This track is basically the mediocre love child of Ice Ice Outpost and Rosalina's Ice World.
Mediocre is right. This track just isn't that interesting.
I don't really like this track. The aesthetic reminds me of Rosalina's Ice World, and I think you all know how I feel about that track.
We get it, Raiden. You're bad at games. I like this track. Like I said, when we ranked Ice World, I said it was an underrated gem, and I still believe that. This track resembles that one and still stands out. It's a B tier for me.
B tier is pushing it. This track is extremely boring, and the split paths at the beginning literally do nothing. This track is a C tier at the highest.
Good man, Kenshi. This track isn't terrible, but it's nothing special.
Of course you're going to disregard my opinion and go with Kenshi's.
We only disregard your opinion when it's wrong, and in this case, it is. Throw this shit in C tier, Johnny.
Got it.
Well, if you're gonna hate on Starview Peak, you can at least acknowledge the greatness that is Sky High Sunday.
I will admit, this track got a major glow up. It was straight ass in 8 Deluxe, and now it's actually decent.
Just decent? This track was already a masterpiece, and the updates it got makes it even better. This is an S tier, easily.
No, the fuck it isn't, Kung Lao. While it is an amazing improvement upon the travesty, that is the 8 Deluxe version. This track is a B tier at best.
I honestly kind of agree with Kung Lao on this one. I really like this track.
Ah, shit! We lost Raiden to the ice cream hive mind.
Stop being so fucking dramatic, Janet. Just hear him out.
Thank you, Johnny. You see, not only does this track look way better than the 8 Deluxe version, there are grind rails everywhere, giving you more opportunities to chain tricks together. And don't forget about that huge shortcut near the end of the track.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Raiden. But don't forget that it's an ice cream-themed track, making it 10 times better.
Yep, both of you have lost your minds.
All right, well, we have 2 S tiers and a B tier. I also think it's an A tier. I really like it. Where are you putting it, Janet?
It's a B tier for me as well. It's in a similar boat as Wario Stadium, and it's just not difficult to improve upon.
Well, I think that rounds out to A tier. So that's where it'll go.
Next up is Wario Shipyard from Mario Kart 7.
I think this track got the Sky Garden treatment, but not quite to the most extreme levels.
At least the track has the same basic route as the original, but it looks almost entirely different.
With World's above water driving mechanic, they had to do something original.
I think this track suffered from above water driving. The water physics in this game aren't the best in the world to drive on, and the water on this track moves around very unpredictably, so it's almost impossible to get tricks and gain speed.
This is exactly why I don't like water tracks. This shit is a D tier.
It's a C tier for me. The only proof that this is a Wario track is the giant Wario face that replaced the fishbone.
C tier from me, too. This track just isn't great.
I'm siding with Kung Lao on this one. This is a D tier.
I would honestly put it in B tier. While it isn't great, I still do enjoy it a bit.
Well, I think that makes it a C tier, right?
I think so. Throwing this track into the C tier.
Next up is Kupla Troopa Beach. I think this is an easy one to rank.
There isn't anything to discuss about this track. It's just a circle.
At the very least, it stays true to its original version and makes it 5 laps and not the wacky shit that DS did.
Well, just throw this shit in F tier, Johnny. The Shell Cup kinda blows, so I want to get it over with.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
All right, we got the only decent track in the Shell Cup. Faraway Oasis is up next.
I like this track, but it could have been better. The animals it shows on the picture aren't even on the track.
You only ever see them on the intermission surrounding the track. The layout isn't anything special either.
True. Nothing about this track particularly sticks out, but it isn't bad. I'd put in at B tier.
I can get behind that. This track is definitely the best of the Shell Cup, and that isn't really saying much.
Okay, B tier it goes. Next up is the Shell Cup version of Crown City. Damn, nothing?
Dude, the only time we can even play on this version of the track was actually on the Shell Cup. Nobody remembers that shit.
Okay, I'll just throw it in C tier and move on.
The Shell Cup version of Peach Stadium is so ass.
It's just a fucking rectangle. Top tier track design on Nintendo's part.
I really don't have anything to add. It's a similar situation to Koopa Troopa Beach.
I'll just drop this into F tier.
Peach Beach is up next. This track changed a lot from its original Double Dash variation.
And for the worse, this track is fucking boring. I'd put it in C tier.
I agree. The first lap is decent, since it's just the layout from the original track. But the track gets worse with every lap.
Especially the last lap. It's literally just driving over an open body of water. I would put it in D tier, but I still somewhat enjoyed the first 2 laps, so C tier works.
All right, C tier it is.
Oh, great. Salty Speedway is the biggest piece of fucking garbage in this game. This shit is F tier.
While this track isn't anything amazing, I don't think it's that bad. It's a B tier for me.
You know, I know this happens once in a blue moon, but I'm with Kung Lao on this one. This track makes me fucking miserable to race on.
I personally don't care for this track. It's a D tier for me. The aesthetic, for the most part, is decent, but the layout isn't anything too special.
And it has the same open water section like Peach Beach. Not quite to that extent, but it's still there.
You make some good points. This track is a C tier for me.
Any track with Birdo on it is an instant F tier. Fuck that character.
All right, we have 2 F tiers, a D tier, a C tier, and a B tier. I think that'll even out at D tier.
Once again, we have a track that got an extreme upgrade. Dino Jungle.
I really like the Jurassic Park theme they went with. It's a unique take on this track.
And unlike its original version, this one has more than one dinosaur. This track is an A tier, just for that.
I also think it's A tier, but not because it has more dinosaurs. This track got an incredible upgrade, and it's way more fun to race on.
I agree with the sentiment of A tier. This track is just a lot better than it was in Double Dash.
We have great question mark block ruins. I really fucking hate this track.
How could you hate on this god tier track?
This track is not God tier. It's all right, but not amazing.
The hell are you on about? All of the walls and rails give so many shortcut opportunities. This track is an S tier.
I also think this track is an S tier. I really enjoy how technical you can get with the shortcuts.
All that technical shit is lame as hell. This track is a D tier at best.
I'd honestly say it's a C tier. I really think this track is mid. What do you think, Raiden?
I think it's decent. The aesthetic is pretty nice and the layout is interesting. It's a B tier for me.
All right, I think we can put Ruins there, since we're so all over the place.
And here we have another dogshit water track. Cheap Falls sucks ass.
I really like this track. It's in my top 5 and a very easy S tier for me.
Raiden, how the fuck can you like this track? It's so annoying to race on.
I also like this track. Visually, it's one of the best tracks in the game with an amazing theme. It's an S tier for me.
But gameplay-wise, it's fucking awful. The rushing water combined with the mediocre water physics of this game, and you get a track that should be S tier. But in reality, it's actually a C tier at best.
You make a pretty good point, Kenshi. I personally think this track is a B tier. How about we put this track in A tier to compromise?
Fine by me.
Next up is Dandelion Depths. Not gonna lie, this track is kind of a nothing burger.
True, there isn't a whole lot to say about this track. It's just decent, I guess.
I'm down to just put this track into B tier, just for the sake of moving on.
That's fine by me. I have a decent time when I race on this course.
I don't really care. I low-key forgot this track was in the game.
All right, y'all. It's time for some absolute boo cinema.
That shit isn't funny, bro.
I didn't fucking ask you.
This track is only good in its theme only. The layout is extremely basic.
I agree. This track is a B tier for me.
Hell nah. This shit is an S tier.
S tier is pushing it a bit, Janet. I think it's an A tier. Like Kenshi said, this track is carried by its aesthetic.
I'm okay with A tier. It's still a fun track, so it's cool with me.
That's fine with me. You okay with that, Janet?
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool. A tier it goes.
Next up is Dry Bones Burnout.
Finally, we have an actually good Dry Bones track.
You're saying that as if Bone Dry Dunes is bad.
That's exactly my point. You see Snappy Neck, Dry Bones Burnout not only has a very cool theme, but it also has a good layout and doesn't put me to sleep when I race on it. Bone Dry Dunes only has a mildly interesting theme.
The Bone Dry Dunes slander will not be tolerated, but that's for a later time. This track is pretty decent in my opinion. I'd put it in B tier.
It's an A tier for me. I really like all of the branching paths and the initial difficulty of this track.
I agree. The paths on this track are pretty narrow, and the fact that Mario Kart World has 24 racers makes it tough to stay on the track at times.
True. I also think it's an A tier. The track is just an overall banger. You okay if we put this track in A tier, Kung Lao?
Yeah, sure.
All right. For some reason, Moo Moo Meadows is back. And it's damn near the same as it was in 8 Deluxe.
We all know they brought this track back because they put the cow in the roster.
Yeah, the only difference between this version of the track and the 8 version is they removed a ramp and added a new one.
I think it's fair to put this track into B tier, like we did to its 8 Deluxe counterpart.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Next up is another track that was in 8 Deluxe, Choco Mountain.
But unlike Moo Moo Meadows, this track is actually different.
The 8th Deluxe version was themed like the American frontier, and this one went in a very different direction by going with a mining stadium type of theme. And I'm honestly not sure which one I prefer.
I think I like the new one more. I find the idea of Choco Mountain being the hangout spot of all of the Chargin' Chucks kind of funny.
I think I like the old one better, but I still don't care much for this track, so put it wherever.
I was thinking A tier. It's a really fun track with a really nice aesthetic.
That works for me.
I'm good with that.
I'm okay with that.
Let's fucking go. We have one of the goats up next. Toad's Factory is peak and the easiest S tier ever.
So true, Janet. We can finally agree on something. Toad's Factory is peak, and I'm so glad it got remade.
The layout is extremely faithful to the original and has a lot of great additions, like a shortcut on a metal beam near the end.
This track is truly peak. Right, Raiden?
Raiden, you there?
Guys,
Don't say it, Raiden.
I never really got the appeal for this track.
No fucking way!
Calm down, Janet.
How the fuck do you expect me to calm down when he says shit like that?
Because we're talking about a racetrack in a video game. It really isn't that deep.
All right. What is it about this track that didn't appeal to you, Raiden?
I don't know. I just never found the layout all that engaging. This track personally is a B tier for me.
All right. I'll take your opinion into consideration and put Toad's Factory into A tier. And I'm not hearing what anybody else has to say about it.
This is bullshit.
Next up is one of my favorite tracks in the game. Bowser's Castle is super good.
This track is shortcut heaven. There are so many ways to cut through this track. Each one was really fun to learn.
Well, besides the fact that Janet is a no-life sweat, this is one of the better Bowser's castles.
The layout is really good, and there's even a section of the track where your cart is affected by a speed boost, making it really hard to control at times.
Not only that, but there are meteors falling from the sky. This track feels like you're racing through one of the final battles Mario has against Bowser. This track is an S tier, no question.
Hell yeah, everyone. You guys know I like anything Bowser related, but this is genuinely a top 3 Bowser's Castle.
We've finally reached the Special Cup and the last 4 tracks in the game, starting off strong with Acorn Heights.
This track has so much shit you drive on and trick off of. You can chain all sorts of shit together.
There are a ton of potential paths, and it can be fun to figure out the optimal one.
I think this track is an A tier. It's super fun. I just don't think it's quite as good as the tracks in S tier.
That's fair. A tier it goes.
Well, it wouldn't be a Mario Kart game without a Super Mario Kart Mario Circuit remake.
This one is actually a bit different. It combined Mario Circuit 1, 2, and 3 into a single track.
And yet it still managed to be shorter than Koopa Troopa Beach.
We all know this track is butt, so I'll throw this one into D tier. I don't think this track is quite as bad as Koopa Troopa Beach or the Shell Cup version of Peach Stadium.
Yeah, let's just move on from this boring shit.
Now we have the true Peach Stadium. This version of the track is much better than its Shell Cup counterpart.
This track feels like it should have been in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with its layout and the way the road curves in different directions.
This track is a B tier in my opinion. It gives me the same vibes as Mario Kart Stadium.
I think B is fair. This track is miles better than the Shell Cup version, but it isn't outstanding.
Throw this into B tier, Johnny.
Got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final cup of Mario Kart World. Rainbow Road. This Rainbow Road is peak.
This track is fucking beautiful. Almost every section of this track looks wildly different from the last.
This track has the speed boost effect, just like Bowser's Castle. Being that fast is extremely fun.
Even the water section is enjoyable because during it, you have that speed boost.
This track is just great and deserves the final S tier of this list.
And with that, we are officially done. This was a pretty good list if I do say so myself.
This wasn't bad at all. And I think Kung Lao got bullied a lot less this time around, so I'm not sure if that's a positive or a negative.
Very funny, Janet. But I'm hungry as hell. You guys want to go out to eat?
I could eat. What were you thinking?
There's this taco joint that opened up near me a few weeks ago. You guys want to go there?
Sure, send the location. We can meet up in 30 minutes.
All right, see you guys there.